Everybody. So for this science experience, I chose to talk about birds, and I'm going to use 3 books. It's going to be 1, I See You Bird by Christina Rupp, 2, Bald Eagles by Trace Taylor, and my 3rd book is going to be Amazing Animal Journeys by Chris Packham. And I would just start out this science experiment by reading these books. I chose the bald eagle one because for students in Arkansas, it's really important to know that our national bird is the bald eagle. This book just introduces several different types of birds that maybe kids haven't been introduced before, don't really know about, are not sure that they're actually birds. You know, for little kids, sometimes that can be confusing. And this last one is one of my favorites, and it talks about migrating animals. And with this one, the kids can really understand that not only do birds migrate, but other animals also migrate, and that can help them understand more about why birds migrate and things like that. So I'm going to start by reading this one, which is super simple. It says, I see you robin, I see you duck. I see you chicken, I see you turkey. I see you swan, I see you goose. I see you hawk, I see you owl. I see you seagull, I see you pigeon. I see you ostrich, I see you flamingo. I see you parrot, I see you peacock. I see you penguins, I see you birds. And at the end it says all birds have backbones, wings, warm blood, eggs, and feathers. And so those are 5 characteristics that students can know birds have. The next one I would read for all of our Arkansas students would be the Bald Eagle book, Bald Eagles by Trace Taylor. And again, this is another very, very simple book, but the pictures are really good. And it says, this is a bald eagle. This is an eagle nest. There are eggs in this nest. There are baby eagles in the eggs. This is a baby eagle. Here is a little eagle. This is a big eagle. Here is an eagle family. Eagles have to live where there are trees. Eagles have to live by the water. Eagles look like where they live. This eagle looks like the nest. This eagle looks like the tree. This eagle looks like the snow. This eagle looks like the rocks. Eagles have to eat. They eat fish. They eat lots of crabs. They like to eat rabbits. They like to eat deer. They eat rats. They eat lots of birds. The bear eats what the eagle eats. The fox eats what the eagle eats. These bugs eat what the eagle had. And then it goes into the back of the book, if you can see it. There we go. And it talks about the different simple body parts that the eagle has. The eye and the nostril, the beak, the wings, the legs, the talons. And these are all things that most birds have. And so that falls under several different birds categories. Okay, the last book I would read is called Amazing Animal Journeys. Every year, billions of animals move from one part of our planet to another. Birds, mammals, reptiles, amphibians, fish, and insects fly, run, or swim around Earth. This is known as migration. Some migrate south in the winter to avoid the cold and to be sure of finding enough food to survive until the spring. Other animals travel to find mates or the best places to breed and have their young. Not all animals migrate long distances or in huge numbers. Some animals come down from the mountains to the seaside or move from the countryside into towns. But wherever you live, you will be able to see migrating animals. Would you like to meet some of the masters of migration? Everything about the blue whale is big. It's the largest creature to have ever lived on Earth, and it has a big appetite too. Cold polar seas swarm with animal life, and every day the adults can each eat more than 3 tons of food. They have to migrate to warmer tropical areas to give birth to the young whales so they don't get too cold. But don't worry, the little ones grow quickly, and in spring, the whole family heads back for a massive meal. Sardines are small fish that travel in big numbers. Shoals of billions swim up the coast of Africa, but many of them end up in the stomachs of hungry whales. Fishermen catch sardines too, and because so many get caught in their nets, these fish have begun to disappear. This is bad news for the animals that eat them, especially the poor whales. A seawater lake on an island of the Pacific Ocean is home to golden jellyfish. Every day, millions of these animals swim from one end of the lake to the other and back again, so it's a very short migration, but without it, they would all die. The jellyfish follow the sun because they have tiny plant-like algae living inside them that get energy from sunshine. It's this energy that keeps the jellyfish alive. Jellyfish are also the favorite food of some extraordinary reptiles, the leatherback turtles. Every few years, they paddle back to a special beach to breed, using a strange third eye on the top of their head as a compass to help them find their way. The turtles choose beaches that are safe and have shallow, sandy shores that they can climb and dig their nests into. There is never snow on Christmas Island, as it's in the warm Indian Ocean, but once a year, when heavy rain falls, millions of red crabs scuttle out of the forest and down to the sea to breed. The crabs cover the roads and can puncture car tires with their tough shells if people drive over them. Special crab wardens help the crabs cross and get safely to the sea. Migrating animals face other dangers too. They need to watch out for creatures that eat them. Wildebeest roam in huge herds on the flat, grassy savannas of Africa. Because wildebeest soon eat all the grass, they must migrate to new spots so their young ones can find plenty of food. This is a very perilous journey as there are many animals waiting for them. Some, such as crocodiles, have been waiting a year for this chance of a meal. Where there's plenty of food, some animals will gather in huge numbers. In a cave in Texas, there are 20 million free-tailed bats. Each night, they all fly out to eat tons of moss, beetles, and other insects. In winter, they all migrate south from the USA to find the warmer weather that these insects like too. Staying warm is very important to many animals, but how can something as tiny and fragile as a monarch butterfly flutter all the way from the cold of Canada to the heat of Mexico? The butterflies go all the way to the mountains in Mexico for the winter. It's because they have powerful wings to fly high in the sky and faster than you can run. We think their antennae tell them which way to go. They are like a built-in compass. Until recently, many birds would fly to Africa for the winter. However, due to the climate change, some birds, such as the blackcaps from Central Europe, now visit Britain. The changing climate looks like it will be having a big effect on migration all over the world. Maybe in your lifetime, some animals will stop traveling altogether and others will start their own remarkable journeys. In spring, blackcaps that spend the winter in Britain return home first, get the best spots, and survive better than other birds that fly south. And then it just gives some facts about all the different creatures that were listed within the book. And that would be fun to read with the class, and I think the kids would really like that too. So after I was done with that, just to give something for the kids to do, with it being November and it's Thanksgiving, one of the birds that's very common around this time of year is the turkey. And so I used brown acrylic paint and some pieces of tissue paper, and I would make a turkey hand activity with the kids. And turkey is a bird, so it kind of links back into learning about birds and learning about where they live and how they migrate and what they eat and that kind of thing. And it would be a really fun hands-on activity for the kids. I also did, I'm thankful for my husband, my dogs, and my family. And so that way the kids could also think about what things they're thankful for, just to continue the lesson on. I hope you enjoyed these books as much as I did.